warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. The ball on the tee, we're set for football, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Lawrence to throw. His throw incomplete. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak, and what's working in their favor, the winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll go to Barkley again. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. 30-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Lawrence will throw. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. Touchdown. Kyle Pitts, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are on the board first here this afternoon. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. And remember, the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Cook. He stiff arms him. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
Let's go now.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one.
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Younghoe Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken from about the 12. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
On the return, the Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready, set.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Micah Parsons in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They're going to look to throw. That pass complete to Moore. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Trap 60, trap 60.
He'll drop to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Cortland Sutton, 27 yards. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. Matt Amendola now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence will get this out to Barkley, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll set up a throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That first down there on the pickup of 25.
18, 5 here.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
19.
They'll look to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. And they have a first down and well into field goal range also at the 16 now. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw again. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Rondale Moore, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point attempt here still to come. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. This one into the hands of Pitts. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now Lawrence on first down. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Lawrence. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. And that will be incomplete. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This offense ready for the first drive of the 3rd quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles. And a pass for Sutton is intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Not the way you envision things to start out the 3rd quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they get pushed back to the 11. And here's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Barkley. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Barkley. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. True knocks this one through the post, and they take a 17-14 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And it will be Falcon football. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Lawrence. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Boy, it took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Open man is Denzel Mims. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the 1st.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll run it again with Barkley. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. Koo knocks this one through the post, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So his 2nd field goal now here in this 3rd quarter.
The first one got him the lead, and this one adds to it, but by no means is this one locked down. This is very much anyone's game.
Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And here's Ryan Wright now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken around the 12. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st down, Lawrence. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 24 yards. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Lawrence going to look to throw for it. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Nuwanger now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Back and 60. Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Falcons are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. It's Anderson. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Barkley inside handoff. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Nwangu now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something we're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Back to throw here. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 30-yard line.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Falcons, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week